Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the video lecture series on operating system. Today we will discuss about a important part of the operating system, that is process management. Before going to process management, we have to know what do you mean by process. In this video, in this class, we will discuss about introduction to the process. How does a process look like in the memory? Differentiate between program and process, and different states of the processes. Let's start. Uh, what is process? Process means a program in execution or program during execution is known as a process. Before going to process, we have to know what is a program. Uh, Program means any program we are writing in C or C++, means it is the set of instructions and it performs a specific task after execution. It is when we are writing a particular program, it is stored in the secondary memory. Then when we want to execute this, before execution we have to compile them. When we compile these programs, it is converted into the executable files, .exe files. That .exe files is also stored in the secondary memory of the program. That is stored in the secondary memory of the program. It is the task of the operating system. It is transfer that executable files, the executable programs, to the main memory. When it is transferred to the main memory, it becomes a process. When that program is transferred to the main memory, the structure of the program changes. Means program means nothing but it is the set of instructions or set of codes, executable files. When it is transferred to the primary memory, then it creates a structure like this in main memory. It has four separate area. It creates four separate area. One is test area, another is data area, another is heap area, and another is stack area. In test area, the original executable files or instructions are stored here. It is read only. We cannot change that. And then in data area, the global variables or static variables are present in the data area, which helps the text or which helps these programs to run. Then in heap area, the dynamic allocated memory of the program is stored, and in stack area it contains the temporary data such as recursion अगर यूज करते हैं, if you are using functions parameters, return address and local variables, these are stack area. Means when we are transferring a program to the main memory, it becomes process. The structure of the process is like this. Means the text area contains the original codes, and data area, heap area and stack area contains help this program to execute. And go to what is the difference between program and process. Program is nothing but it is the set of instruction, but process is the running instance of a program, and program is a static entity. It is stored in the secondary memory, but process is a dynamic entity. But program has no state, but in process passes different states. We will discuss these states later. Program does not require any resources, but to process this program, the process requires different resources. It may be CPU, IO devices, memory, etc. And a program, when a program is executed multiple times, it creates multiple number of process. One program is there, but it creates multiple process when it executes. The control, the program user has the control, but in process the operating system has control over the processes. A program is independent with each other, but a process, multiple process can be interact with each other, that is known as inter-process communication. Now we will discuss about the process state. When a process is executed in, in the CPU, it passes in different phases or different stages or different states. This is known as process state diagram. When a process is created, that is in secondary memory, then it is in new state. Means new state means when a process is created, means it is in secondary memory. The size of the secondary memory is very large. Nowadays some TBs are coming, terabytes memories are coming. Means in that secondary memory, huge amount of data can be stored in the secondary memory. In secondary memory, there are huge amount of programs are stored. All program cannot be processed at a time because our main memory or RAM size is limited. Main memory or RAM size is limited. When a process is created, that is transmitted to or transferred to the ready state for execution. In ready state, there are it maintains a queue that is known as a ready queue. Some processes are transferred from the new state to ready state by the help of a scheduler that is known as long-term scheduler. Long-term scheduler, the function of the long-term scheduler is it selects a process from the secondary memory and send it to the ready queue or ready state for execution. When a process is in ready queue and it is transferred to the running state. Running state means it is transferred to the CPU for execution. If in a computer there are several CPUs, then it sends multiple number of processes to the running state. Let we are working uniprocessor system, uniprocessing system. So assume that we are transferring, operating system transfer one job from ready queue to running state, one after another. After completion of that process, it is transferred to the terminated state. Terminated state means it releases all the resources which are used by that particular process. During execution, when a process requires some IO events, input-output events, later it requires some input which is taken from keyboard, which is taken from mouse, or and then that process is sent to the waiting or block state. After that IO event completion, then that process cannot be directly transferred to the running state because at that time some other process are run by the CPU. So it is transferred to the ready state or put in the ready queue. If there is during running some priority jobs are coming, they want to run immediately, then the current process is transferred to the ready queue or ready state, then the priority job is transferred to the running state and executed. Likewise, the different processes are executed like this. Thank you very much.